Saturday the 18th of February. It's just past 6 o'clock, and welcome to our Saturday news programme coming from the heart of Wyke, Regis, and we're live with you this week. Now, I've got the microphone on this week, so hopefully you're hearing things loud and clear, and we'll try not to do the little problem we had with last week again. Now, in the news this week, since the first COVID-19 vaccine was administered back in December 2020, more than 2 million doses have been delivered in Dorset. Around 80% of the population have had primary doses of the vaccine, with more than 300,000 eligible people taking up the most recent seasonal booster. The jab was provided at a range of locations across the county, including pharmacies, GP practices, community pop-up clinics and vaccination centres. Dr. Ravin Ramatola, lead GP for the vaccination programme in Dorset, said, "Thank you to everyone in Dorset who continues to protect themselves and each other from COVID-19. As we come out of a particularly cold winter period, the NHS COVID-19 vaccine programme will continue to run a few clinics. Anyone who hasn't come forward for any vaccinations can still get their first and second jabs, and those with severely weakened immune systems are eligible for their additional third primary dose." During the remainder of February, there will still be some adult walk-in opportunities, and throughout the year, appointments will be bookable for both adults and children's vaccinations. While the current COVID-19 booster vaccination programme has paused, people living in and around Dorset are asked to stay alert to the risks of the virus. There will be updates later in the year about the spring and autumn booster vaccination programmes, which are particularly important for those most at risk of serious illness if they catch the virus. Dr. Paul Johnson, Chief Medical Officer with NHS Dorset, said the COVID-19 vaccination programme is an amazing example of what local health services can achieve by working together for the benefit of the local people, and is testament to the commitment and dedication of those teams who were involved. Although the current booster programme has paused, it is important that those people who are considered at risk stay informed about plans and continue to accept a booster jab in the future if they are offered one. Now, for further information on vaccinations, please visit nhs.uk and search for vaccinations. If you do not have online access, speak to your GP or health professional at your next appointment. Representatives from the Dorset Regiment recently met with Dorset County Hospital's Arts in Hospital staff to see a refurbished plaque which was originally presented to the hospital nearly 100 years ago. On the 15th of January 1925, the large bronze engraved plaque was presented at the County Hospital site in Princes Street, Dorchester. It was unveiled by the Earl of Shaftesbury, the Lord Lieutenant, in the presence of Lord Ellenborough, who was the chairman of the hospital's committee. The bronze engraved plaque, now proudly redisplayed at Dorset County Hospital, commemorated the re-equipping of the hospital in 1925, with 40 new beds and the virtual rebuilding of several wards. It was all part of Dorset's war memorial to the 4,000 members of the regiment who had fallen in the Great War. Funds have been provided by public subscription. Nearly 300 soldiers of the 2nd Dorsets came over from Aldershot for the unveiling and were supported by soldiers from the Dorchester depot. A colour party was provided by the 4th Battalion. A large crowd enjoyed the elaborate ceremony, although the weather was not helpful. When the new Dorset County Hospital was opened on its current site by Her Majesty the Queen in 1998, the plaque was installed in its present position near the hospital's bereavement room. In the last 25 years, the plaque's condition has deteriorated, and in late 2022, this was brought to the attention of the regiment, and Captain Mick Jarrett took up the case, and with the help of DCH Arts in Hospital manager Susie Rushbrook, arranged for careful refurbishment to be carried out. This was done by local craftsman Chris Grooves, who achieved a splendid result. And if you're at the hospital and you're going up that corridor between the outpatients department and the main hospital reception, they've got that long corridor that goes up past X-ray, past the bereavement room. Do have a look at that plaque, nicely restored there on the wall in that long corridor. Now, officers from Dorset Police are issuing an image of a stolen generator, which you can see on the screen now, from a building site near Weymouth, and would ask anyone with information about the theft to come forward. Between Wednesday the 1st of February and Thursday the 9th of February, a Bruno generator which was on a trailer was stolen from a building site in Abbotsbury. The trailer has a distinctive yellow forklift points on it, and you can see those on the side of the trailer in the picture. Police Constable Glenn Caddy of Dorset Police's Rural Crime Team said, "Our inquiries are continuing to the theft, and I would ask anyone who saw or heard any suspicious activity between the relevant time frame to please come forward. I am now issuing the image of the stolen generator and trailer and would ask anyone who has seen it locally, either for sale or parked up somewhere in unusual circumstances, to please contact Dorset Police." Now, as usual, you can get hold of Dorset Police on the non-emergency number 101, or if you wish to give information anonymously, you can do this via the Crime Stoppers charity on 0800 555 111. Now, Dorset Council's budget of £348 million for the financial year 2023-24 has been approved by councillors at the full council meeting this week on the 14th of February. This continues the council's commitment to maintain frontline services without the need for cuts and to balance the budget. Dorset Council provides around 450 different services to just under 380,000 residents. This year's budget setting exercise took place against a national background of extreme pressures for councils. These pressures include the high level of inflation, which affects the cost of delivering council services, and also the continued growth in need for social care services as a result of the ageing population. Council tax will increase next year by just under 2%, and the adult social care precept by 2%. This is less than the maximum 5% increase available to councils as outlined in the government's spending review in December 2022. The increase is equivalent to £1.40 extra per week for a Band D property. Councillor Gary Suttle, Dorset Council's portfolio holder for finance, commercial and capital strategy, said the proposals do include a council tax increase. However, we have kept it to the minimum possible despite the high current level of inflation, and we continue to provide a range of support for those residents hardest hit by the cost of living. Since becoming a unitary council in 2019, we have made efficiency savings of £76 million. This money has been reinvested to protect frontline services, including funding the growing need for adult social care with our ageing population. Our prudent budget management has meant that Dorset has not faced the same cuts to essential services as many other areas. However, we continue to lobby government for fairer funding for Dorset so that we can reduce the burden on local taxpayers in the future. Now, the coronation of His Majesty King Charles III will take place on Saturday the 6th of May at Westminster Abbey in London. During the ceremony, the King will be crowned alongside Her Majesty the Queen Consort. Across the country, events will be taking place to mark this historic occasion, and Dorset Council is encouraging local communities to start planning local events and parties for the special bank holiday weekend of the 6th to the 8th of May. The Coronation Big Lunch, where neighbours and communities are invited to share food and fun together, will take place across the country between Saturday the 6th and Monday the 8th of May. If you are planning a street party, you'll need to apply for a temporary road closure notice from Dorset Council. If you want to find out where to do it, just go on to Google and enter Dorset Council Temporary Event Road Closure and hit return, and you will go straight to the page. Now, Dorset Council, as in previous celebrations in recent years with the Queen's Jubilee, etc., are waiving the cost of road closure applications, and they welcome residents' applications. You need to apply at least 6 weeks in advance. The official website also has an interactive map which will display all the events and activities that will be taking place in Dorset as well as across the rest of the UK. And you can find out about local events and add details of your event at the special national website for the coronation of coronation.gov. That's coronation.gov. Now, the £2 bus fare cap introduced by the government is to be extended and bus services protected with new funding. The bus fare cap will be extended by a further 3 months, backed up by £75 million to help passengers save money and get around for just £2. The government have also confirmed up to £80 million to continue supporting critical bus services around England. Millions of passengers across England will benefit from £155 million of government support to cap bus fares at £2, maintaining services and ensuring people can travel affordably. The Travel Secretary yesterday confirmed £80 million from the 1st of April to the 30th of June to protect vital bus services that people rely on for work, education, medical appointments and shopping. The government has also announced plans to provide up to £75 million so that bus operators can continue to cap single bus fares outside of London to £2 until the end of June, saving passengers money and encouraging more people back on the bus. With the average single local bus ticket costing just £2.80, passengers can save almost a third of the ticket price. Bus operators which are continuing the £2 fare cap scheme will be confirmed in due course. The Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, has said, "I want to make bus travel affordable for all. That's why we're continuing to cap fares at £2 and protecting local routes, ensuring we have a modern and efficient network that's accessible for everyone. Getting more people onto reliable and affordable buses will strengthen communities and help grow the economy, connecting people to jobs, driving pensioners to see friends and family, and helping people attend medical appointments or accessing education." Now, going back to Dorset Council, there we go, change the pictures. A summary of the comments from the Dorset Council consultation to the Dorset Council local plan has now been published. All of the comments received from the 6,000 respondents have already been searchable on the Council's website, but they have now been categorised against the draft policies and relevant areas of Dorset. The consultation, which took place in early 2021, resulted in over 50,000 comments on the separate policies, more than all of the most recent former district and borough local consultations combined. Councillor David Walsh from Dorset Council's portfolio holder for planning said officers have given time to every comment that was received during the consultation. We've been given specific details that will help us formulate the plan. We are grateful for everyone who has commented. There are many genuine issues which will be considered going forward. Now, the summary can be viewed, if you want to view it, by going into Google again and searching for Dorset Council Local Plan Consultation Summary. That's Dorset Council Local Plan Consultation Summary. Now, the Dorset Council Local Plan will outline the strategy for providing growth that Dorset needs, locating development in suitable places, providing community services including schools, retail, leisure and community facilities, ensuring the appropriate character and quality of development, protecting the environment and acting on and adapting to the impacts of climate change. Once adopted, the plan will guide decisions on planning applications in Dorset for the next 16 years. So quite an important strategic document there that the council will rely on for quite a while to come. Now, a raft of parking charge notices issued to those who visited Weymouth new Dunelm store are to be refunded after drivers were issued tickets for staying less than the maximum time. Customers who visited the Dunelm store in Weymouth were upset and confused after receiving fines when they'd only parked for less than the 3-hour maximum duration. The car park is operated by G24 Professional Parking Solutions. The company is responsible for issuing fines rather than Dunelm itself. The Dunelm store has now confirmed that all the fines erroneously issued will be refunded and letters will be received by those affected in the next few days. Now, there's some changes coming up on South West Railway train services from Weymouth again this weekend as work continues to repair that line near Hook. South Western Railway is advising customers to plan ahead this weekend due to emergency repairs at Hook and engineering works in the Southampton area. There will be changes to trains through Farnborough and Basingstoke over the weekend due to engineering work. Last trains will be earlier than normal on Saturday today, and first services will be later and last services will be earlier tomorrow, Sunday the 19th. Last through trains will again be earlier than normal between Monday and Thursday this coming week. Trains between London, Waterloo and Weymouth will start and terminate at Eastleigh today and tomorrow due to the routine maintenance in the Southampton area. Full service is expected to resume on Friday the 24th. That's this coming Friday. As we always suggest these days on the trains, before travelling we suggest you check the full extent of your journey on the appropriate National Rail Inquiry websites. A number of here we go. Let's get that up. Here we go. A number of sinkholes have been seen on the coast path near West Weirs on Portland. The coast path has been diverted as a result of the sinkholes, and the coast path has been moved back towards Priory Corner. Dorset Council are asking walkers to take note of the signage and stick to the diverted path. On social media, Dorset Council commented, "Our erosion risk management team have noticed these sinkholes on footpath 6 by West Weirs on Portland, which they suspect could be part of a future wider cliff failure in the area. As a result, we're moving the current footpath closer back towards Priory Corner and will be diverting the southwest coastal path along existing rights-of-way through Tout Quarry." And I think the message there is, if the footpath is shut off and there's signage there, do follow it. It's there for your safety. I know some people have been fiddling with the signs and they have been, I think, taken down. It's very important that people stick off of that path, particularly if a wider cliff failure is expected, because nobody wants to see anybody disappearing off down the cliff. And finally, in our headlines tonight, well-known antiques expert Paul Atterbury, who lives in South Dorset, will be hosting the next instalment of the Friends of Weymouth Library Talks. Paul Atterbury, known for his many appearances on the BBC TV programme Antiques Roadshow, will be talking about his lifelong enthusiasm for railway trains in the library on Saturday the 4th of March at 10:30. Now, the Weymouth resident, Paul specialises in the art of architecture, design and decorative arts on the 19th and 20th centuries, and he's even written books about his love of railway travel. Refreshments will be provided on the day and everyone is welcome. Entry will be £3 for non-members of the Friends of Weymouth Library and £2 for members, and tickets are available for purchase in the library in Weymouth. So that's the 4th of March if you want to go and listen to a talk by Paul Atterbury at Weymouth Library. Having heard Paul speak at events in Weymouth before, they are always very interesting. He's a great character and he makes his talks very, very interesting, very, very engaging. So I highly recommend that. Now, that's the end of our headlines tonight. Now, we often hear about how getting fresh air is good for us. In our first article tonight, we're going to hear from the RSPB President Dr. Amir Khan, and some of you will be familiar with that name, one of our doctors that often pops up in the media and on TV, and was quite common to see him over COVID. And Dr. Khan explains how getting outdoors, even on a chilly winter's day, can lift our mood. Dr. Amir also discusses nature prescriptions created by the RSPB to benefit the health of people and nature.
Nature can make us happy. I'm going to talk to the RSPB President, Dr. Amir Khan, who's also a GP, to find out why that is. Amir, how does this work?
Well, we've evolved alongside nature for millennia, so it makes sense that we want to connect with it. In fact, scientists have a term for wanting that connection. It's called the biophilia hypothesis. It means that we seek out nature, we seek out birdsong because it makes us feel better. We have this innate tendency to want to connect with nature because it lifts our mood. And I quite like that because I look after lots of patients and I talk to them about lots of different things, and mood is one of them. And what we know when we go outside, it can actually actually stimulate some of our happy brain chemical. It's called serotonin. It lifts our mood. So getting outdoors in places like this, listening to bird song, it's thought to produce more of that happy brain chemical serotonin, and it gives us a hit almost of a high. So when you come back in from a walk or anything outdoors, you feel good, and that is why. And you want to do it again and again and again. So having these spaces close by is really important because we can then access them and get that hit again.
So even on a chilly winter's day like this, can we still get those health benefits from nature?
Yeah, you can get the health benefits all year round. But when it's cold like this, just put your big coat on, like your mum says, and get outside and see what you can see and hear. So you might be looking at kind of the frost on the trees or on a spider's web, which is just gorgeous. Or because spring is almost here, almost, not quite, you could see kind of green shoots coming up through the soil, which I think always makes you think of, you know, nicer times ahead. But it's not just about what you can see, it's about what you can hear too. So what birds can we listen out for? This time of year is great for robins. They sing all year round, and that sound is just gorgeous.
So how about people that live in urban areas or perhaps can't leave their homes? Can they still get that boost from nature?
Yeah, so research has shown that people who spend the least time in nature actually stand to benefit from spending any time at all in it. So if you're at home and you can't get out, if you've got a balcony or a window box, put some insect-friendly plants and flowers in there, or perhaps hang up a bird feeder and get nature to come to you. I can spend hours watching the birds from my kitchen window. If you can't do that, just looking at nature images on a screen, be it your phone or your television, has been shown to be beneficial. Or listening to nature sounds. So bird songs on speakers have been shown to improve mood as well. The RSPB have been involved in nature prescriptions for a number of years, but now GPs like me can give them out to our patients if we think it will do their well-being some good. And that can be on its own or in conjunction with conventional medication. And we'll work with them to find somewhere close to their home so they don't have to travel far. It all started in Shetland and Edinburgh, but from this month we're moving this prescription on to other areas like the high peaks of Derbyshire, and we'll be working with social prescribers who will speak to patients, find out exactly what kind of green prescribing, that's what we like to call it, is best for them and what will work well for their health.
So by helping nature, we're helping ourselves as well, because nature can look after us too.
That's right, you know, that connection with nature is good for us and we have to look after it because it's good for our well-being.
There we go, that's Dr. Amir Khan talking about the RSPB and nature's prescriptions. Now, there is some information on the RSPB website, and if you're interested to have a read about that, then pop along to www.rspb.org.uk/nature prescriptions. And if you don't want to be bothered looking at nature's prescriptions, then even just getting out for some fresh air and a walk has got amazing health benefits, both physical and for our mental well-being as well. Now, we've seen in the headlines and in the news reports over the last week or so, the news of the earthquake in Turkey and Syria. And the latest figures today are showing that over 41,000 people unfortunately have died in those events, with many thousands being injured and up to 17 million people in the affected area, many needing shelter, food and medical aid. Now, in the UK, the Disasters Emergency Committee is a group of 15 leading UK aid charities who work together when there are catastrophes such as this earthquake across the globe. And we're now going to learn a bit about the Disasters Emergency Committee and what they're up to in respect of the earthquake in Turkey and Syria.
Within hours, 2 earthquakes devastated homes, hospitals and schools across 2 countries. More than 15,000 people are known to have been killed so far, and tens of thousands have been injured. Beneath the ruins, untold numbers still remain buried. The casualty figures in Turkey and Syria right now are staggering. As the attempts to save more people under the rubble continue, the big challenge ahead is to help the millions who have survived it. The humanitarian situation is expected to get worse in the coming days. Countless injured need vital medicine or hospital care, and those now homeless face the freezing winter without any shelter, food, or clean water. Millions of Syrian families affected now had already been forced to flee their homes due to years of brutal conflict there. And even for those miraculously saved, what do their futures hold? They are in desperate need of life-saving support from around the world. Their own homes are no longer safe.
Suyumuz yok, yiyeceğimiz hiçbir şeyimiz yok. Ben yardım istiyorum, başka hiçbir şey istemiyorum. Evden vazgeçmişim ben, çocuklarım kurtulsun yeter.
والله من الموت وين تروح الناس؟ ما في لا خيام لا في بيوت لا في وين تروح العالم؟
The Disasters Emergency Committee charities and local partners are on the ground, but urgently need more resources to respond to a disaster of this incredible scale. You can help them now by donating online to dec.org.uk, by calling 03 70 60 60 610, by texting crisis to 70787 to give £10, or by sending a cheque to this address. £10 could pay for blankets for 2 people this winter. £50 could provide emergency food for 2 families for more than 1 week. And £100 could mean 4 families receive much needed shelter. Whatever you can manage, every penny will make a difference. So please, donate now. Their trauma cannot be undone, but we can and we must help.
Thank you very much, sir, to Daniel Craig telling us about the appeal and the work of the Disasters Emergency Committee. And the Disasters Emergency Committee works by pooling the resources of all of those major charities, 15 of them, to coordinate the UK's public response to overseas disasters. And they collaborate with the Rapid Response Network of national media and corporate partners, and also, as well as responding with funds, they're obviously raising the alarm to the UK public and setting up easy ways to donate, so it's easy for people to support the work being done in these areas. Now, if you want to support that work going on in Turkey and Syria at the moment, all you need to do is go along to the Disasters Emergency Committee website, dec.org.uk, that's dec.org.uk, nice and easy. Go right to the top of the screen, top right hand side, look for the red donate button and press that, and it will take you through making a donation to the work of those wonderful charities that are out there trying to help those people at this awful time. Now we come to that part in our programme where our regular contributor Andrew Wright tells us all about this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to Wyke Regis TV film review and preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This weekend, the Marvel Cinematic Universe's 5th phase kicks off with the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the 3rd film in the Ant-Man film series and the 31st film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film stars Paul Rudd as Scott Lang and Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne, alongside Jonathan Majors, Michelle Pfeiffer, Michael Douglas and Catherine Newton. The film takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame and features Scott and Hope as well as Hope's parents and Scott's daughter Cassie going on an adventure after being dragged down into the quantum realm and going up against Kang the Conqueror. The film has the longest runtime out of the Ant-Man films thus far, sitting at 124 minutes, which is an average for most MCU films. The film has also received very mixed reviews from critics, currently sitting at 51% on Rotten Tomatoes at the time of writing. I am planning on seeing this movie this weekend, so stay tuned. This week, Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was released on home video. The film serves as the conclusion to the MCU's fourth phase and focuses on how the nation of Wakanda copes on the international stage after the death of King T'Challa, mirroring the real-life death of actor Chadwick Boseman. The film is the sequel to the 2018 Black Panther film that received a Best Picture Oscar nomination, with Wakanda Forever receiving a Best Supporting Actress Oscar nomination for Angela Bassett. I gave this film 1.5 stars out of 5 when I originally reviewed it for the Disney Plus release. During the Super Bowl, the trailer for the DC Extended Universe's solo film for The Flash was released online. The film stars Ezra Miller, most famous for their role in the Fantastic Beasts film series, as well as their recent legal controversies, as the titular superhero Barry Allen, also known as The Flash, a speedster who moves at superhuman speeds. The film revolves around Barry travelling back in time and preventing his mother's murder, only to get trapped in an alternate reality without metahumans, when he is forced to team up with a alternate reality Batman, played by Michael Keaton, and the Kryptonian castaway Supergirl, in order to protect this new world from Superman's arch-enemy, General Zod. The film adapts the DC comic storyline Flashpoint, and is the second adaptation of the comic. However, as a fan of the DC comic storyline, as a fan of the comics and the live-action TV show, I was quite disappointed by how unfaithful the film is to the original story, as well as Miller's acting in the trailer being subpar. The film releases this June after 9 years of development and production setbacks. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will review Quantumania. Now back to Gary in the studio.
There we go. Thank you very much, Andrew. And Andrew mentioned there the trailer being released for The Flash this week, and we're lucky enough to have been provided that by Warner Brothers. So we're going to share that with you. It's 18 June, exclusively to cinemas. So here it comes for you now. Here we go.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere. Another timeline. Another universe. So why do you want to stay and fight to save this one?
Because this is the world where my mom lives. I'm not gonna lose her again. Time has a pattern that it can't help reliving. Different people, different worlds, drawn to each other like magnets. It's my face. So my face.
If you were to go into the past, you have no idea what the consequences can be.
Bruce, I could fix things.
You could also destroy everything.
This can't be happening. I completely broke the universe. Zod.
We've been waiting for you.
I created a world with no metahumans. And now there's no one to defend us.
Want some help?
You are?
Yeah. I'm Batman.
undo what I did. If I can't get back, there might not be a future. What's the play? Batman, what do we do?
We try not to die.
It's not Clark.
My name is Kara.
I'm Barry. We're Barry. Barry, what are you doing? Our kids are gonna want to see this.
There we go. That is The Flash from Warner Brother Pictures, directed by Andy Muschietti, and it's in cinemas June this year. And I'm sure we'll hear more about it from Andrew when the movie is released in full. Now, it's that time in the programme where we go over to the Met Office for the weekend weather forecast. And this week we are joined by Craig Snell.
Hello there, welcome to your weather update from the Met Office. Well, as we go through the rest of this weekend, we will see some further rain at times, especially across the north of the UK. But for many of us, especially in the south, it's going to remain on the mild side. So here's the situation for Saturday afternoon. Have some rain and drizzle across the very far south of England. Quite misty and murky along some English Channel coast here. And another area of rain across Scotland and northeastern England. And actually this rain's not really going to go far as the afternoon goes on. Elsewhere, Northern Ireland into Wales, Midlands, East Anglia, and especially so for the far north of Scotland, we will see some sunny spells. But quite chilly across the very far north, temperatures in Lerwick only reaching 5 degrees. But in the sunshine across the Midlands, East Anglia, we could see temperatures reaching 15 or 16 degrees. Into this evening, the rain across the English Channel will sink its way southwards into the continent, leaving clearer skies here for a time. And also the rain across Scotland, northeastern England will eventually move into the North Sea, allowing a dry slot of weather to come in, but turning quite cold for a time across Scotland. Could see some icy patches where any surfaces remain damp. So quite a cold night for Scotland and also cooler nights elsewhere, but still on the mild side for the time of year. Temperatures in most towns and cities not falling much lower than 7 or 8 degrees. So quite a quiet start in the south on Sunday, but an area of rain already moving into western Scotland. That will move its way into the rest of Scotland as the morning goes on. Also bringing in a lot of cloud for Northern Ireland and Northern England. Could just see a few spits and spots of rain across the high ground here. But further south, we should see some good brightness. Lion's share of the sunshine come the afternoon, probably southwestern England, central southern England too. And here we could see highs reaching 14 or 15 degrees once again. Milder than today for the north, but this will be tempered somewhat by a strengthening wind, which may reach gale force come the end of the afternoon across western coast of Scotland. Then moving into the early part of next week, high pressure keeps things settled in the south initially, and we're all in the milder air still, but come the middle part of the week, we see a change in the wind direction, bringing in some cooler air from the north, bringing the risk of some wintry showers, especially across the northern half of the country, and for many of us, a return to overnight frost. But you can find out more about that as we go through into next week on our website and also through our various social media channels. But that's all from me for now.
Thank you very much, Craig. And we now look at the local weather forecast. And like Craig was mentioning in the national weather forecast, it is going to get a little bit colder this week, but still not really down to those temperatures we would normally expect this time of year. So we are going down to 3 and 4 degrees. So there will be a bit of a chill in the air, particularly at night. But, you know, we are not seeing those heavy frosts that we would normally have this time of year. And also the sun is going to be present throughout the week, but the chance of rain on Tuesday and Wednesday midweek. So that's the weather this coming week. Now, looking at our What's On, quite a lot in our What's On section tonight. Starting as usual with Weymouth Pavilion, 18th of February, that's tonight actually, the Big Country Music Show. That'll be starting actually in about just under an hour's time. Tomorrow, Sunday night, with comedian Rosie Jones. 24th of February, Bye Bye Baby. 25th of February, the UK Pink Floyd Experience. 1st of March, Macbeth. 8th of March, that'll be the day. Now, also, we've got the Ukrainian opera coming towards the end of March for 2 days. Don't forget that. And we will, I think it's Madame Butterfly, and I can't remember what the other one is, but we will be reminding you about that when we get closer. As ever, the Pavilion box office is weymouthpavilion.com online or 01305783225 by telephone. Now, the Nose Fort, the last day tomorrow of their World War II week that they've been running during half term. And I know lots of people have been down there this week, seeing lots of pictures of the activities. So you can sort of try out being various things to do with the Second World War. You can get your own logbook and go around and get it sort of marked off as you undertake some of the activities. Now, the 25th of February, that's next week, we've got the Cold War Bunker immersive guided tour on again, where you can experience what life was like in the Cold War bunker in the 60s and 70s and that sort of nuclear attack era. Springtoberfest, 11th of March at the Nose, and also their Science Day on the 19th of March and their Wedding Fair on the 26th of March. Now, turning to Arts Reach, tomorrow the Ridgeway Singers and Band, led by Tim Laycock and Phil Humphreys, will perform traditional songs from across the county, some of which were collected by the Hammond Brothers and play dance tunes from the repertoire of fiddler Benjamin Rose and perform an arrangement by R. Vaughan Williams, setting to William Barnes' famous poem. Now, I believe the tickets are fully sold out, but what they're doing is they're actually going to live stream the show as well. So you can't actually go in person because they're sold out, but if you want to watch it online, they are live streaming it from 2:45 tomorrow. If you go to the Arts Reach website, just search for Arts Reach, it's easy to find. You need to register to watch the live stream, but you'll see it there on the home page. Click on it, register, and then you'll be able to join that concert by live stream tomorrow. Now, I've also been asked to tell you that Sunday the 4th of March is the Weymouth Music Festival. Local children and bands will be taking part all day in lots of different things. There's piano playing and wind instruments and string instruments and organ playing and all sorts of things, and it's a really nice event if you're into music. There's a small charge for refreshments. It's taking place at St Aldham's Church in Spa Road from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then as a follow-up to the music festival, they always have a concert, and the festival concert will be on the 10th of March at 7 p.m. So that's the music festival itself all day on the 4th of March at St Aldham's Church, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and the festival concert on the 10th of March at 7 p.m. Now, full details are on the Weymouth Music Festival website at weymouthmusicfestival.co.uk. Now, turning to something in Wyke Regis itself now, despite the village stores in Wyke Square closing as a village stores, the premises are still being used. Upkeep Sewing, which is run by local business owner Molly, is based in the stores, and the stores are being used for lots of small local events. Now, on Thursday the 2nd of March is one of these events. That's from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. There's going to be a sewing and floristry workshop. Now, for more information of this event and future events, drop Molly an email, and her email is upkeepsewing@gmail.com, upkeepsewing@gmail.com, or pop into the village stores there, or look on the windows of the village stores, and I think there's information up in the window. But that's Thursday the 2nd of March, 6:30 to 8:30, a sewing and floristry workshop there in the Wyke village stores, and there will be other things coming up in the future, so do watch out. Now, Weymouth Choral Society is going to perform a Music of Majesty concert at St Paul's Church, Abbotsbury Road, Weymouth, on Saturday, March the 25th at 7:30. They're going to have things like Mozart's Coronation Mass and a selection of choral and instrumental pieces with a royal flavour or English connection during that concert. They've got some guest soloists, Simon Earle on the organ, Winston Leese on trumpet, and 4 vocal soloists, Nicola Burley, Lee Page, Jonathan Valander and Gareth Jones. And they'll be adding to the choral items with solo features. A royal banquet of music is to be performed. So it's Saturday the 25th of March, 7:30 at St Paul's Church, Abbotsbury Road. If you search online for Weymouth Choral Society, I'm sure you'll find their website and all the information. We will give you some more detail on tickets nearer the time if you want further details of where you can get tickets. Now, there's also going to be an art demonstration and workshop with Tony Paul at South Hill Community Centre in Weymouth on Tuesday, February the 28th. Anyone interested in art is welcome to attend this event. Bring some basic art materials if you'd like to take part in the workshop. The workshop will be from 9:45am to 11:45am, and admission is £2, and doors are open from 9am to get in early and claim your seat. And somebody representing the event said, have you ever fancied trying a bit of painting? Now's your chance. Come along to the South Hill Community Hall on Tuesday, February the 28th at 9:45 and find out a bit more about a hobby or possibly a career in art that could change your life. Now, for more details, you can contact Carol on 07890 04 0005. So that's Carol on 07890 04 0005, and that's on the 28th of February at 9:45 at South Hill Community Hall. We'll mention that again next week. Turning to church services tomorrow in the Wyke, Regis and Lane House area, there is no 8am service tomorrow at All Saints Church, but there's a service at 9:30 at All Saints Church and one at 11 o'clock at St Edmund's Church, Lane House. In respect of our other programmes, we've got our quiz tonight in 3/4 of an hour. It's just on 6:45 now. So yes, 7:30 our quiz will be on, and anyone is welcome to attend that. It's free. It's our community quiz on a Saturday night, every Saturday night, suitable for everyone. It's family friendly and it's free of charge. So do join us for that. The stream will go live about 7:15, 7:20, so people can find it and get comfortable, ready for a prompt 7:30 start. Now, turning to traffic and travel. Works this week. Works continue at the junction of Lane House, Rocks Road and Fremantle Road. They could be going on for up to 14 weeks. Thankfully, the last few days, the traffic lights have been removed and there's just barriers on the side of the road. So hopefully a lot of the work will continue in that way without the need for traffic lights, because it certainly was causing some disruption with the traffic lights on that junction. Also, roadworks on Dorset Road by Nottington Lane and Dorset Road by Morrison's, Littermore Road, Castle Road on Portland, and Radipole Lane has got night-time closures for some days this coming week. Just reminding you back on the rail services, there are disruptions this weekend. Bus replacement services because of engineering works around Southampton area, and late starts and early finishes due to that continued work where the embankment collapsed at Hook in Hampshire. Well, there we go. That brings us to the end of tonight's programme. Thank you for joining me for this week's Saturday news programme. I will be back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock as ever. If you have got any news on events or any fundraising activities or concerts you're doing, or any news that you wish to share, do drop me a line during the week on news@wykeregis.tv. That's monitored all week, and I can always get back to you if I need further information, or maybe I'll come and speak to you if it's something that we can do an interview on. So do use us and share your information and your events with the people in Wyke Regis, Weymouth and Portland and South Dorset and beyond on a Saturday evening here on Wyke Regis TV. I hope that you have a nice weekend. I hope the weekend is good for you and the week ahead is good for you. If you're going back to school on Monday, I hope you had a good half term, and I hope school is good for you this coming week. And I look forward to being back with you next Saturday at 6 o'clock. Good night.